All right, welcome you guys. Thank you. Happy Monday night. Thank you for hopping on our team call. This is Team Play Hard, and I am Ellen. And tonight we are going to do part one of a series called Becoming a 500 Plus PV Coach. And before I go any further than that, I want to give some credit so that if this video floats around YouTube and someone else hears it, I want to give some credit to where this training kind of who is really deserves credit for the majority of the content I'm bringing tonight. And her name is Milan Jensen. She's actually the very first coach to ever enroll. The very first one. She's in her late 50s. She has 7 kids. 2 of her daughters work the business avidly with her. She has she's a great grandmother. She's got 3 grandbabies. Carl approached her in 2006. So to those of us that have been on the wall, we definitely know her as sort of a legend. She's definitely very much a businesswoman. And she was she was a corporate executive. She had been in network marketing with her husband before. And when Carl approached her, she was kind of like, I'm not that into fitness and I don't really like the name of the company. I think it was $1 Million Body first and then Beachbody. And she said her first list of prospects was like only 14 people because she didn't want to like reapproach some of the people that had been in network marketing with her before. And then also, She said that part of her shtick was just like, I know I'm not that into fitness and I don't really like the name of the company, but I think this is a great business opportunity. And so she said that was sort of her opening line. But I wanted to give her some credit. And then I wanted to mention kind of why I'm giving you this content. Like, if she's so great, which she is, and she did such an incredible training for those of us that are 5-star and above that are on what was the wall, which is now called the round table, if she did such a phenomenal pre-recorded video, I actually was on it live and I've watched it twice now. Why would I just not copy and paste that video for you guys? Well, there's 2 reasons. One, I really want to embed this content. I want to embed it into the marrow of the bones of my business. I want to filter all this information into me, the leader of Team Play Hard. And so what better way to learn than to teach? And that right there is a lesson from me to you that I want to say to some of you that are already leaders on this team is if you want to become a great leader and you want to learn stuff, teach. I don't care if you have 1 coach and you're still trying to figure out how to get to Emerald. Figure out how to get to Emerald and then teach that 1 coach because that's how you really learn. When I really wanted to figure out how to be elite, I decided to make a training video on how to become elite. I don't even know that I had any of you really pushing for it at that time, but I was like, I want to learn this content. So I'm just going to put a training video out there on YouTube on how to be an elite coach. So I want to embed this information into my business practice. So that's one selfish reason I decided to disseminate the content because I had to immerse myself in it all day. And I've already spent a couple hours because I was on live and then I watched it again so that I will know this content. Your takeaway there is that you guys, to learn best, lead, teach. If you really want to learn something, teach it, even if you have 1 coach on your team. The other reason I didn't give you her video, is because I'm going to break it up into 2 sections. I just think there's a lot there. Like I said, I think I'm giving you half the content tonight, and I think it'll. Oops, my cat's just knocked my purse on the floor. I think even going half the content tonight is still going to take us a little over half an hour. The other reason is I have created some content for Team Play Hard that is a diamond to 2-star push. And in that diamond to 2-star push, you guys that are diamond coaches that are pushing to 2-star, you guys are going to get her video from her. But right now, I'm just going to give you the information. We are, again, talking about becoming a oh my gosh, my cats and the dogs. I told you, the second, I'm like jinxed tonight. The second I got on the call, like my son was gone all weekend in Salem watching the eclipse. He came home with a buddy and then my husband called. And anyway, I'm sorry, it's chaos here. All right, so again, we're talking about becoming a 200 PV coach, and then instilling this virtue, this lifestyle into our team. And I'm going to tell you what, we don't really have it right now. Okay, so what is volume? Like, let's start there. When I'm talking about becoming a 500 plus PV coach, some of you might be like, what's PV? So let's talk about volume really quickly. Volume is points. It's personal volume points is PV. So if you didn't know, you haven't been through our new coach training, but if you didn't know, every single product has a point value associated with it. So for example, Shakeology is 90 PV. So then there's something called TV. T is in Tom, TV, and hi Jackson. And TV is your team's volume, because part of this business is building a team. So I just wanted to define those in case we had new coaches that are listening to this or on live. So why is volume important? In the broad strokes, it's important because it's the biggest part of our compensation plan is cycle bonus, not commissions. So volume is important because that's what we bonus from. It also is directly correlated to the health of your business. It really is. So if you wanted to see how healthy your organization is, both your personal business and your team's business, that's just to take a look at your volume. You can see it in your coach online office. It'll say what your PV is. It'll say what your TV is. So your personal volume, in case you haven't been through the new coach training, is anything you order. Like of course, it goes without saying that you're ordering products. So your personal Shakeology order, your personal performance line orders, whatever you're consuming and using to be proof that our products work, that is part of your PV number, is your own stuff, your personal orders. But all of your direct customer, all of your clients, that's your PV too. Yay, Gail's on. Happy to see you, Gail. Welcome to our first team call. Gail's in our new coach training, and she's personally sponsored by Danae, which that means she's 6 levels. Like, you guys, we are a growing genealogy. We're a healthy organization. I think that Gail is 6 levels. That makes me like a great, 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 great grandmother to Gail, which is really funny because Gail is actually my mom's name. Okay, moving on. So that's your PV. It's your personal order. More importantly, it's your customers' orders. And then your team volume is any of the coaches in your organization, from you down, contributes to your team volume. So let's say, for example, and I think on our mastermind, or last week's team call, I used Kara as an example just because she was an easy one. She's an easy target. She hits high success club numbers for our team, and she also has high volume. So that means that there's some health there, because what would it mean if someone was hitting success club? Because in our Thursday, sometimes I post on Friday, in our weekly recognition, I post first, success club, second, volume, the top volume on our team, third, the top recruiters, and fourth, team cycle bonus earners. And if you look for a correlation between who's hitting Success Club, you can just look at yourself. You don't need to look at others. But if you look for a correlation between Success Club and volume, there should be a correlation, because if you saw that there were Success Clubs and points consistently and no volume, wouldn't that mean that coach is just, they're not continuing to order. They're not happy customers. They're not successful clients. They're not sticking with the program. They're not sticking with their products. Their lives aren't being changed. Yeah, you got Success Club points, but how are you changing someone's life? How are you following through with this person? And so, because if they were to continue to order every month that they order, of course, you'd have another 90 PV attributed to your volume totals. So let's move on. I haven't gotten to the part where I want you to write your hand off yet. So when BOD All Access happened for our company, it took a hit to our volume, right? Because prior to Bought All Access, every time there was a product launch, we would call it a swell. I remember Brian and I used to be like, you know, T25 is going to release. There's going to be a swell. We would call it a swell. Our team volume got swole. And we would notice with product launches, you'd see a swell. New Shakeology flavor, you know, a swell. Well, with Bought All Access, we get less volume, right? And less frequently. Less and less frequently, but it really was the best thing for our customers. So that just sort of changed the landscape for the business in terms of volume and that whole structure. And again, it was great for customers, kind of hard on us in terms of volume. And then in the last 5 years, and now I'm starting to get into Milan's content a little bit, in the last 5 years, we started to the cats are coming again. We started to really incentivize and recognize certain achievements. Success Club, the Success Club program, and the Elite program, to name just a couple, right? And we haven't really glorified, which I want to change about our team. We haven't really glorified, like, who's having happy clients? Who's got high volume? It's been more about Elite, the Elite program, and the Success Club program, right? And those types of things. So that's those recognition points, Success Club program, Elite program, those have been great these last 5 years for the growth of our company. But they have created a little bit of some challenges inherently, and we're namely to speak of what we're addressing tonight in terms of volume. So now I want you to grab a pen and paper if you're able, and I want you to write like wild. And I could have taken the time to create slides for you that you could have just taken pictures of. And those of you that get to see Milan's video when I post it in the push group I'm going to do from Diamond to 2-Star, you'll see that she has really nice, neat, very pretty slides. I didn't want to do that for a couple of reasons. One, it does take me a long time to make slides. I'm not very proficient at it. But more, I really, really wanted you to learn this. And I know that writing is better for your brain than just taking a picture of a slide. So I've done that a million times. In fact, at Summit this year, I was like, I'm not doing that. I'm going to write this year, because all the pictures I take of slides, they just end up in my camera roll. And they're not in here. They're in my camera roll. So write these notes fast. I'm going to throw a lot at you, and I want you to almost write like you're writing a slide. So I'm going to tell you, this is the content I'm about to give you is basically the first slide that you're going to create on your piece of paper. So slide 1 would be titled The 500 PV Coach. Write fast. Is the heart and life of your entire team. The 500 PV Coach is the name of the slide. Put a bullet point under there. Is the heart and life of your entire team. And if you're like me, you underlined the words heart and life. So I asked myself, well then, who's the heart and life of my team? It's the 500 plus PV coaches. Okay, so then number 2 bullet point. They live the 4 vital behaviors. Okay, so the 500 PV coach lives the 4 vital behaviors. Number 3, bullet point, learns to invite. The 500 PV coach learns to invite. There's 2 more bullets on this fake slide that you're writing. Please unmute and tell me if I'm going too fast. Learns to ask. I'm gonna touch on these in more detail in a moment, but number 4th bullet point is learns to ask. And number 5 is knows the Find Your Health formula. Knows the Find Your Health formula. So let's look at those again. The 500 PV coach is the heart and life of your entire team. So the 500 PV coach, it would be like if it's 500 PV a month, right? It's a month. Because when I post it every week, what I'm posting, you guys, is the rollback. It's actually like a 5-week rollback from my sponsorship drill down Excel sheet that I post that number. So every week that I post that, it's a look back on the month. So if you're a 500 PV coach, it's within the month. So if you remember back in the day, I did Mary Kay, and I have gone to like candle parties and different types of parties. I've gone to parties. Some network marketing companies have parties. I've done some of those parties. That was before I learned how to say no in my life. So I was always like, yeah, I'll go. Okay. Anyway, so remember, and you could tell like then they wanted you to book a party, and it was like you could tell that rep needed to like book a certain amount of parties per month. Like you could just kind of tell that's part of the business model. So think about like the 500 PV is kind of like, to have 500 PV, that's kind of like how many parties you need to have a month. Not really parties, but just metaphorically, like it's kind of the volume you need to have every month. That's kind of the volume you need to have every month. All right. To be a part of the heart and life of your team, and to be creating a team with heart and life yourself. Lives the 4 vital behaviors. I am not even going to elaborate on that. Like, yes, with no brainer that a 500 PV coach lives our vital behaviors. Number 3, learns to invite. So basically the little extra here is they're confident in saying, do this with me. The 500 PV coach learns to invite, and they're confident, underline the word confident, in saying, come do this with me. Number 4, they learn to ask, how have you been? How's your health? The 500 PV coach asks that question. How have you been? How's your health? And they know the Find Your Health formula. And you guys know that. It is exercise, nutrition, and support. It's what we do. It's who we are. It's what we offer. Fitness, nutrition, and support. Okay, I want you to write like crazy on a second slide. You're creating the slides that I don't have. You're creating them for yourself. The second slide, the title across this slide is U+2. How am I doing on time? Where's my phone? It fell on the floor with my purse and everything else. Let me check the time. Oh my Lord. On your first bullet point, an Emerald coach is the business milestone and the keystone of your entire team. First bullet point. Emerald coach is the business milestone and the keystone of your entire team. Number 2, simple plan. I love this. Thank you, Milan. I love this. Get to Emerald and build emeralds. She literally said from day one that has been her organization's entire strategy from day one. It's not even like get to diamond because that happens. Like that will just happen. It's get to emerald and build emeralds. I love that. Okay. They have a team mindset, or you. I'm going to put this in the second person. You have a team mindset. It's not what you can do individually. It's what you can duplicate together with your team. Or if I apply it to me, it's not what I can do. It's what we can do. I'm sorry. I missed a key word. It's what we can duplicate together, not do together. What can we duplicate together? And what we need to duplicate together is get to emerald and build emeralds. Okay. So that was number 3 was team mindset. It's not about what you can do individually. It's about what you can duplicate together. And then lastly, team goal is to build 4-generation emerald tribes. I'm going to explain that in a minute, but write it down. The team goal, our team goal, your team goal. My team goal as Team Play Hard, but your team goal because you're creating a team too. It's not like what can you do for Team Play Hard? It's that's going to happen, but it's what are you going to do for your team that you've either named yet or you haven't named yet, that you're dreaming about, that you want to, take our trips with, sit on an airplane with, walk on stage with, whatever that is to you. That team goal is to build 4-generation emerald tribes. So next pretend slide that you're creating, building a 4-generation emerald tribe. There's a formula. So to build that 4-generation emerald tribe, you can call that the top of this slide, building a 4-generation emerald tribe. Bullet point number 1, you need to have a 500 plus customer base. We've already talked about what that means. It means you're taking care of some people and their orders are reshipping, and you've got this cumulative rolling 5-week, 4-week look back of 500 PV that are your happy customers that have become your lifers. So that's number 1. You have a 500 plus customer base. Number 2, you teach your PS to teach their PS to build emeralds. It's just a 2-step process. That's the second bullet. You teach your PS to teach their PS to build emeralds. Okay, so how did that create a 4-generation tribe? Okay, so Jelliet is Nicole's an emerald, yeah? So Jelliet is my personally sponsored coach. I taught her to build emeralds. So there's me. Next generation is Jelliet. And she taught, and so I'm me, then Jelliet, who became an emerald, and then Nicole. So it's 4 generations because she's teaching that duplication. You teach your PS to teach their PS to build emeralds. That's how you get 4 generations. Okay, don't go anywhere. I want you to sit back and watch this next section. I'm going to throw it over to Milan, who delivered this content to the leaders. And then it's going to take about 5 minutes. I want you to watch attentively. All right, share screen. Optimize sound. Desktop. And here we go.
Levels, but let's look at what that actually does. So it's kind of a busy diagram, but the 500 PV Emerald Tribe is 15 coaches total. That tribe together will create 7,500 points in volume. 500 for the emerald that you're personally sponsored, and then 3,500 on each of their 2 legs. What the U+2 will generate for an emerald, just that one little emerald with the 2 people, in the 500 coach PV coach model, is they'll earn about $167 that month. As soon as they go and take that to a next generation, so that's U+6, meaning you've got 2 emeralds, they're going to cycle 10 times, and that jumps to $265. And then as soon as they go to the next level down, which is the model I'm showing you, the tribe is built. When the tribe is built, the emerald is going to be making about $447. So that isn't, it's life-changing for some people. And some people have much greater aspirations than that. But one of the things I want to share is, if you were to look right now at your emerald coaches, how many of them have been able to, first of all, create a strong 500 point customer base, and how many of them have been able to duplicate that or teach their PS coaches to teach their people to do the same? And so this little model of 15 is called an Emerald Tribe, and I'm going to be referring to it more as I kind of go through this process. So let's talk about Diamond Strong. It's a term I really like. So if the 500 PV Emerald Tribe is generating about $447, and I want to stop for 1 second and just say, you know, this is the income disclaimer. We're all coaches. The truth is about this is that it can vary slightly. It can be, you know, it's not promised to anyone. This is simply looking at our comp plan, looking at our current pricing structure and PV and BV and all of that, and saying, if you do this, this is what we would estimate to happen. Okay, so if an emerald builds their tribe of 15, they're going to earn $447 thereabouts. A classic diamond, which is a diamond who typically one of them is an emerald on either side, all of them doing 90 points. That classic diamond is going to earn $54 for doing that job. They're also going to really struggle to stay active. And we'll talk about that in a second. So I want to show you, and then a classic diamond, who actually shifts from 90 points per coach to 500 points per coach, would boost from $54 to $485. And a 500 diamond strong, which is built with emerald tribes, would make $3,725. I'm actually going to show you that in a second. But I just wanted to show you how making this simple shift to the 500 point coach and then teaching this 4-generation little how to build a tribe, then it can completely change how strong your diamonds are. And they're certainly not worried about qualifying every week. So here's the classic diamond, right? We know this model. I got 4 people on either side. We're all doing 90 points. And typically the reason this has happened, I believe, is that a diamond comes in with a challenge pack and then stays on their Shakeology order. And some stick, some don't. Some try a few challenge groups, and after 2 or 3 months, they kind of work through their initial center of influence, and they don't know where to go from there. But they settle into this 90 points a month, and this is typically what I've seen happen. A lot of coaches work hard to get to this model and then feel a little disappointed because obviously the $54 isn't a huge incentive. But they've forgotten that what they've really done is created a team of personal product users instead of a team that's duplicating. So that's the classic diamond. Here's the 500. Take that same model and just teach those coaches how to be successful with a 500-point goal every month. And you can see how this jumps, right? So they're going to go up to about $485 because they're going to have a total of 6,000 in volume, 3,000 on each side, which boosts their cycles to 20 a month. So that's a good first step. The challenge here, they're going to be less likely not to qualify unless they have one coach that kind of falls off. So what we've always taught is to everyone who's building this is get to Emerald and build emeralds, and then focus on empowering those emeralds to build an emerald tribe. So this is what a diamond strong looks like. When we looked at that little emerald tribe, each tribe generates 7,500 in volume. So as a diamond is building, when they get 8 emerald tribes on each, 4 on each side, they're going to generate 60,000 in volume, 30,000 on each side, and their cycles will be 3,600. If they expand it to 12, and I kind of like the number 12, because I really like them feeling completely secure that they've got 6 on either side, and if people make decisions or changes or something happens in their life and they stop leading, that you don't have to read from scratch. You've got that model built strong. And that generates, a little over $5,000 a month in income. And then a diamond feels strong. They feel unshakable at that point. Keep in mind, this whole model is built on those little tribes of 15 people. Okay?
Okay, so that was awesome. Didn't you guys think? That was pretty amazing. Okay, let's keep moving on. I've got a lot to still go over and important stuff too. 500 PV model. This is your next slide. Goal number 1, I'm going to speed up. Create raving customers. Goal number 2, create customers who influence. Goal number 3, create revenue per customer. Raving customers, number 1. Customers who influence, number 2. Revenue per customer. It's really easy to fall into this trap, and I'm actually guilty of it, you guys, of being so focused on Success Club that sometimes I'm like, do the Bot All Access Challenge Pack, and if Shakeology doesn't work out for you and you're not convinced after 2 weeks of drinking it every day, you can turn it off, and gosh, I think I've even said before, like, I'll help you and I'll help you. It'll be easy for you. So like, I'm super guilty of that. And, it's not good for them. It's not good for me. So yes, be a Success Club machine, but create loyal customers. Take the extra little bit of time and care to create loyal customers. This was one of my favorite quotes, and I wrote it down verbatim because I thought it was so spot on from Milan. Have a business that creates as much revenue per customer while meeting that customer's needs. I just thought, Gosh, you can't say it better than that. Of course, we want as much revenue per customer as possible, but we want to do it while totally meeting that customer's needs. And if you do this, you'll actually be thinking beyond the challenge pack to other products, which we'll talk a lot more about next week. The 500 plus PV idea number 1, I'm going to go through 3 ideas with you, and then I'm going to wrap. 500 plus PV idea number 1. These are so gold, you guys. Here's a bullet point. What's your favorite way to exercise? Because remember we said that the 500 PV coach is comfortable asking questions. So what's your favorite way to exercise? Number 2, how's your nutrition and diet been? I often say to people, give me an example of what you eat typically. Like what's your typical breakfast, lunch, and dinner? What are your typical snacks? I ask that all the time to people because I'm trying to assess where can Shakeology fit into that. Okay, so number 3, do you have a buddy or support system? Number 4, are you open to something new? I'm going to read those really quickly again in case you missed them. Number 1, what's your favorite way to exercise? Number 2, how's your nutrition and diet been? Number 3, do you have a buddy or support system? And number 4, are you open to something new? So asking these questions, learning to comfortably ask these questions will increase your success rate, and it'll also build your confidence. 500 plus PV idea number 2. The challenge pack is our best solution. It really is. It's their best way to get results, and it's seriously the best deal for them. Best deal, best value, best bang for their buck, best results, our challenge pack. It also creates 90 PV and $32 of monthly revenue. Remember, the goal being the most revenue per customer while meeting their needs. So that's good PV, it's good revenue, it's a good value, it's a great way to get results. So it makes sense that we try to sell the challenge pack. It also gets us 2 Success Club points. And then it's worthless if you have no follow-up. I don't know if I want to say it's worthless because maybe they're totally self-motivated, but they get the greatest value when the follow-up is there. 500 plus PV idea number 3. Ask friends and family for support and feedback in doing something that really matters to you. So something like, I'm asking the people closest to me for support and feedback with some of the products I'm going to be recommending. Are you open to helping me with this? So 500 PV idea number 3. Ask friends and family, your loved ones, to support you in something that really matters to you. Ask them for support and feedback with some of the products that we recommend and if they're willing to help. Shakeology is 90 PV. Daily, write this down. Daily Sunshine, 90. Performance Stack, 90. The Ultimate Reset Digestion Pack, which Milan is huge on as a woman in her 50s. She says a huge amount, her friend and peer group, and post-menopausal, this product line is one of her best PV values, is the bundle from the Ultimate Reset Digestion Health. And then Derm Exclusive, 70 PV. Did I say the Ultimate Reset is 94? The Ultimate Reset bundle of the digestive pieces. Derm Exclusive, 70, 3-day refresh, 52, bought all access, 38. If you add up all those numbers, so meaning you ask someone in your life, one of your friends, one of your family members, to support you by giving you feedback on a product you're recommending. You ask the CrossFitter in your life that isn't interested in whatever. You ask them to do the performance stack. Sherry and I talked about that this week. You asked someone else, the mom with all the kids, to do Daily Sunshine. You asked someone else to do the Ultimate Reset Bundle. You're asking them to support you to get these products, but also to help give you feedback as well. That's 528 PV regularly, just with that kind of broad thing. And it'll also help. Milan said tummy and gut, tummy troubles. She says that's a lot of her clientele has tummy troubles. So, okay, so I'm going to actually conclude. Do we still have Kara on, or does she still kind of on, I think? Okay, I'm going to conclude. Those were ideas, yay, she's still on, because I was actually going to use her as sort of another example. And my example with Jelliet didn't go all the way down to, it needed to go all the way down to Desiree to complete that 4 levels. I just didn't finish it. Okay, so another one would be Tammy is another example, because it's me, Kristen, I taught Kristen teaches Tammy, and so forth. Tammy has coaches, so that's a 4-level generation. And then Gail, if she's still on, I'm looking all over my screen, that's 6 generations of depth. Okay, so in conclusion, one of the reasons that I delivered this content to you, not as well as Milan delivered it herself. Like I said, it's because I wanted to ingrain it in my own brain. And the other reason is Milan might be the number 1 coach, like literally the literal first person to get a business center as a team Beachbody coach. She might be a bigger deal than me, but guess what? I'm a bigger deal to you. I am. You know me. I'm a bigger deal. So it's actually better that you hear this from me, and you hear from me why our team needs this and why your teams need this. So take that a step further. If Kara's going to start doing her own new coach training. And I love that idea. Don't get me wrong. I love working with her, but I love the idea of her doing her own new coach training. You know why? I might be a bigger deal rank-wise, and I've been around longer and enrolled before Kara. But guess what? The coaches that are enrolling in her organization, she's a bigger deal to them. You know, I've known Nicole, who's on Jelliet's team. She's been taking my classes for years. She didn't enroll as a Beachbody coach under me. She enrolled when Jelliet asked her. So when you guys start to teach your own tribes, they'd rather hear from you than me. As Felder, where's Felder? He was on. Oh, there he is. He's talking about starting a new team page. I'm like, yes, do it. Yeah, Adele's like, yeah. Because you know what? As much as I love his team, like Nick's it. He's their friend. Like, he's known them. And so take confidence in the fact that your leadership might not be, it's not going to be, just like clearly mine isn't, as you guys well know, perfect. We have to start. And the people in our teams they don't know. You guys you don't know until I play you Milan's actual slide. You don't know how good it was compared to this. So take comfort in that. I want to teach duplication. And that's the whole theme of this whole call in terms of building emeralds. Become emerald, build emeralds, teach them to build emeralds. It's duplicating. And it's not that aiming for Success Club is something I want you to not do anymore. That is not what I'm saying. I'm just saying, additionally, realize, let's start to glorify the 500 plus volume coaches on our team and on your teams, because we have them. We have them, and that means happy customers, taking good care of our people. So I'm going to check the chat and open it up to any questions or comments. And that was just part 1. There's a whole nother half to the 500 PV coach. Yes, Sherry, people can still purchase products. They can even still purchase DVDs. It's just not a value for them anymore. You could sell someone I think the Insanity Challenge Pack DVDs are $205, or they could get BOD and have every single program, and it's $160. Correct me if I'm wrong, people. Yeah, but people can still buy DVDs. And we were talking about CrossFit people, I think on our mastermind, but Katie Burchett was saying, because she was a CrossFitter, that like CrossFit people know their days of the week. They're like, I go Tuesday, Thursday. And then they're often like looking like they know they need yoga. They know they need other things, PIO, the other days of the week. So if you start to have as we go into the part 2 of this training, and you start to have a broader mindset, and we start seeing beyond the challenge pack, getting more comfortable, we'll talk about that next week, more comfortable talking about different products, and not just saying, oh, it's your daily dose of nutrition. Oh, it's a superfood shake. We need to, not that we need to become registered dietitians to represent well, but we need to start talking and knowing our products a little bit more, and increasing our confidence in talking about them, and selling more than just the challenge pack, because we have so much more to offer. So that's all I got. And duplicate. Yeah, the mobile enrollment, good question. You can skip challenge pack purchase in the fine print, because it defaults to the challenge pack sale in the Coach mobile. It wants you to do challenge pack. In the small print, it says skip challenge pack, and you can do like one workout. Yeah. And my takeaways are duplicate, and let's better serve our customers. And wait, where's Jelliet? Is she still on? Is Jelliet still on, or did she go? She might have left. We went to this event at Kristen's house where they were like doing the lip sense thing. And man, this lip sense rep had such good customer care, because I didn't like the product. Sorry, this is on my YouTube. Sorry, lip sense people. I like this. Like it goes against one of my rules. But I didn't like the product. But this rep was phenomenal at customer care with me. Like, she didn't hound me in a bad way, but she just really, 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 really wanted me to be happy. And there's like all these things you have to do to apply, and thin layers, and then let it dry, and like different color, she was willing to do whatever it took. And then when she gave me, okay, maybe I should stop the recording. No, I just won't. Someone else offered me some lip sense stuff before too, and I actually knew this person really well, so it probably makes sense why they just gave them to me in a Ziploc bag. Totally cool. I actually know her pretty well. I'm sure why. Like, I've given people a thing of Shakeology in a Ziploc before too, so I'm not being critical. But then this person that I didn't know at Kristen's house, it came in like a really pretty little bag with a ribbon around it, and inside were directions on how to get best results. And then she followed up with me multiple times, to the point that I felt like I had to tell her I didn't like the product. And then she wasn't like, oh, lost this one. She just kept going. And since she offered me, like, what about their eyeshadow? And there's other products. And she was great. And Jelliet and I were talking, like, do we do that? When we give someone a sample of Shakeology, do we package it well? Do we put a little instruction card in there that says not to just shake it with water, because it might taste like crap, because it's all natural and not full of artificial flavors and not full of sugar? So it maybe isn't going to taste awesome if you shake it in water and then leave it in your car for a while. Like, put directions and some recipes, and then follow up. I felt schooled by that lip sense lady. So better customer care. I know I need to do it myself. Melanie, you look lovely tonight. Usually I see Melanie like sweaty in her clothes, like it just crushed my workout. I'm like, who's that? All right.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So what would be your first, what's the easiest thing to help somebody duplicate? Like, if I was to focus on one thing that I want to help duplicate, like with my friend or my coach,
getting to Emerald, because it is like, I know there's higher paid ranks, obviously, but there's no bigger key to unlocking all of that than Emerald. And Milan actually says it's the biggest milestone because of that. It's not the biggest in terms of you're going to make bank when you hit Emerald. It's the biggest because it unlocks. And like without Emerald, if you're trying to build a business, if you're trying to build a business, it's get to Emerald and then teach them how to do it and the importance of it.
If I could jump in real quick, something I remember from Eric Worre's book, Go Pro, is that in order, and Ellen, I think you probably remember this part as well, but he talks about creating the systems and creating tools so that our coaches don't feel like they have to be like the one doing all these business presentations. They don't have to be the ones like doing all of these things on their own. They can lean on our tools and on our systems, and that'll help duplication as well.
Yeah, really good point.
Because like if people just look at Ellen, she does so many business presentations, so much work, people might be overwhelmed with they're like, I can't do that. But if we can create systems for them and tools for them, and so, you know, they have something to lean on. It's not just like, oh my God, it's not so overwhelming. So
that's a really good point. It's such a good point, you guys. And it was something we've never talked about before. I actually like doing video. And I like to lead and talk. That is in my wheelhouse. That's probably why I like to teach classes. But a lot of coaches that lead, top coaches, don't. So I saw, what's her name? I think it's like Lindsay Westbrook or Megan Eggleston or one of the bigger coaches created a revolving training, and I tried it and it didn't work for us. But her revolving training wasn't her doing trainings. It was all like, here's Melanie Mitro talking about how to get to Emerald rank, and here's, you know, Scotty Hobbs on how to this, and it was all like, and here's the corporates video on, you know, the vital process. And so you could literally lead a new coach training, and like what Jake said, you could use other, I mean, it's not really what he said, but it's to that same point that you don't have to duplicate my way. You just need to duplicate your way. And it might not be live video and live webinars and yeah.
I think it's really key that it comes from us too, like what you were saying about taking that a step further. I know I need to, like, that if I want to build people that know me, they're going to trust me. We trust you, so we listen to you. But I don't know. I think that that's a huge thing that sorry, my phone's about to, anyway, yeah, that was my point.
Yeah, just like you guys would really rather hear this from me because you know me. Everyone you enroll, that's how they view you. I didn't deliver the information, I'm to promise you, as articulately or as well presented aesthetically as Milan. But I did it, and so that's what you guys need to carry forth. But in terms of what to duplicate, it's you know, I think those questions are really helpful too, Tammy, is let's start teaching our even our customers on being comfortable with saying, come do this with me, and our coaches. Right, Dana, right. And honestly, I watched the video once and I only absorbed a little bit of it. I was like, yeah, we need more volume. But then I watched it and I took a ton of notes and I got it. So I wanted you guys to take notes. All right, you guys. It's almost an hour, so let's sign off. I am going to be in LA on Thursday, so no mastermind this week from me. I was going to ask Katie to do it because she's just got some ideas that are good going on. Later, Brian. Oops, I think he already left.
Thanks, Ellen. See you guys.
Yeah, thanks. Bye, guys.